Joining us now is Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. He's joining us here tonight in his capacity as a surrogate for the Harris campaign. Great to see you. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me on.
Before we talk about the president's speech and all that, let's talk about you for a second. Your name was out there as on the short list as a potential VP nominee. You could have been on the stage tonight. Any sense of disappointment?
No, I was honored to be mentioned, but I'm very excited about the Harris-Walz ticket. I just ran into Tim Walz in the hallway back there. He is the real deal. I've known him for some time, worked with him, and the thing that I keep thinking about with him is I've seen campaigns spend millions of dollars to make a candidate seem like the kind of guy who would be a football coach, a classroom teacher, a 24-year National Guardsman. He is that guy. And, of course, as a Midwesterner, I'm a little biased, too. Excited to see a Midwestern governor on the ticket.
We're going to hear President Biden here in just a few minutes. If you think about it, he's really someone who the party basically said, we can do better without you. Now, you can change the language, but the idea was that for the chance to win, the party had to move on past Joe Biden. What signal does that send as he comes out tonight in support of the nominee?
Well, I think with a signal you're going to see is one of solidarity. Look, our party is not always known for quickly and easily unifying around any decision, and yet it coalesced in a matter of hours around Kamala Harris. And I think tonight you're going to see a lot of love for Joe Biden for really two reasons. One, his selfless decision, and two, his success as president.
Do the results justify the means, though, how this came about?
Well, it was his decision, and it is so world historically rare for the most powerful person in the world to willingly lay aside power simply because it is the right thing to do and pass it to a new generation. So again, I think you're going to see a lot of appreciation for that. But also, one thing I know about him is he continues to be extremely focused on the future, both in terms of his presidency and what I think he's going to ask the country to do tonight, which is to carry the best things forward to support this new leader, but also one who's going to be able to maintain things like the historic job growth that we're seeing right now, the manufacturing boom that's happening in the industrial Midwest, where I grew up, instead of the manufacturing recession that we had under Donald Trump, and all the other results that we've had under the Biden-Harris team.
As someone who ran for the nomination cycle back, right? I get that correct. How has running for president changed as you watch this campaign and how quickly it has come together under these extraordinary circumstances?
Well, I think one of the things that's changed is the role of attention, because we do have digital media, different forms of organizing, and so it's become much more challenging to have a kind of consistent story that everybody's seeing at the same time. That's why organizing matters. It's why outreach to very different constituencies matters, and it's why we as a party have to be smart, as I believe the vice president has been, about beating back the crazy nonsense that comes from Donald Trump every day. Today it was attacking people who won the Medal of Honor. I'm sure tomorrow will be something else. Dealing with that, condemning it, but then swiftly returning to the actual topic at hand, which is not about the personalities of the candidates. It's about the lives of everyday Americans.
Well, speaking about Donald Trump, there was a lot said when Joe Biden was the presumptive nominee that there was a discipline that the Democrats were seeing in the Trump campaign and in Trump himself. Many argue he seems to be having trouble focusing on the line of attack against Kamala Harris. Are you worried the other Donald Trump will come back, the more disciplined candidate?
Well, certainly what we've seen right now is a pretty chaotic Trump campaign, but I actually think there's a bit of a strategy in the crazy things that he's blurting out, and it's that he doesn't want us talking about his actual agenda or his actual results. His unpopular agenda of continuing to demolish a woman's right to choose, tax cuts for the rich, all of the other things that are in Project 2025, and his really problematic results. Part of what we have to remind the American people of, the fact that crime was higher under Donald Trump than it is today, the fact that manufacturing jobs were in a recession under Donald Trump compared to what it is today, the fact that even energy production, something conservatives talk about a lot, was lower under Donald Trump. It's higher today. So whether we're talking about results or whether we're talking about unpopular policies, he can't afford for the conversation to be about that, which is why he wants it to be about whatever crazy thing he blurts out tomorrow.
Secretary Buttigieg is good to talk to. I think you like Pete?
Yeah, I can't go by Secretary while I'm on air in this capacity, so fair to just call me Pete this time.
All right. Well, thanks. Good to have you here. Thanks so much
for having me on.